Welcome, everybody, to Cinema Royale. I'm Travis Hobson of PunchDrunkCritics.com. And on this week's show, we are talking two movies that couldn't be more different: Dumb Money and The Expendables 4. And the only person I wanted to talk to about both of these movies is my homeboy, Chris Bumbray of JoeBull.com. What up, Chris?
Hey, Travis.
What's up, man? All right, so we and I are going to talk about The Expendables 4 first. It was going to go the other way around. We started talking about the Expendables 4, and I was like, we got to shut up.
It's what we want to talk. I mean, it's our brand. What are you and I going to talk about? Like Dumb Money, sure, yeah, but I feel like we have more to say about Expendables, right? Like this is like an event movie for guys like us.
I was thinking about this movie on the drive home last night after I saw it, and I was like, I told you it felt contractually obligated, but it sounds like it feels like to me like that album from your favorite band that comes out as like a compilation after they've been broken up for like 5 years, and it's like the one that like the studio has the one album they have left on the contract.
Yeah, or like
that's what the
a couple of new
Expendables
band
4.
members, and it's like it's not quite right. It doesn't quite sound the same.
I mean, why does it seem like every time they do a new Expendables movie, there's like an attempted youth movement? Like, I don't need it. We the original had all the people we wanted to see in it, and then every movie since they keep trying to fill in the gaps with these new people. We don't pay to see the new people. I'm not paying to see 50 Cent or Megan Fox. Although I must admit, Megan Fox looked pretty good in this movie compared to some of her previous movies.
Yeah, I liked Megan Fox in it. I mean, the thing about
terrible. 50 Cent's awful.
I mean, 50 Cent, when they start playing 50 Cent music when in the main action scene at the end.
No, he asked for that, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, I think he had money in the movie, though. I think he's one of the producers.
I think so too.
I mean, the thing about it is I think the only reason they got made, and I think the reason they keep bringing these young people in, is that they wanted to do well enough that they can spin off the series without any of the stars and take it to like DTV territory, because Millennium doesn't have any franchises. Right. So I think they're trying to, keep the Expendables going. And,
hard.
And if you could get Stallone and Statham still on the poster, I think they were assuming that they could at least bring in some audience, and I mean, it's obvious that it costs. Yeah, that's about the appropriate reaction it feels like it cost way less than the others. I mean, it all takes place in a cargo ship. And apparently it was a spec script. It was a spec script called High Value Target that they just turned into an Expendables movie. And the green screen is so bad. But
it's so terrible.
But in that regard, I almost kind of liked it because it was like a canon movie from the 80s. It wasn't American Ninja 1 or American Ninja 2, but it was like American Ninja 3, where it's like, it's not good.
If I thought that was the movie they were trying to make, I would appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But I don't. I don't think that was the movie they were trying to make. They thought they were making something better than what they gave us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the tragedy of the movie. I think they were trying to really reinvigorate the franchise, and pass the baton to Jason Statham, but I can't imagine they'll ever get him to do another one of these movies.
Basically a Jason Statham solo movie, right? Like you don't even really need the other Expendables in this, except for
they do nothing. They just stand in a room while he rescues them.
They don't do anything. It's like he just proved the case that he doesn't need the other Expendables. Like there's a whole sequence where he defeats the entire all the bad guys by himself.
Yeah,
while they're captive.
It's his movie, and Fox is the love interest, and Tony Jaa is the sidekick. The guys, Lundgren and Couture, have nothing to do in this movie. And then there's the other chick that's in it. Then there's the other chick that's in it that barely has any dialogue. And Stallone, I mean, let's let the cat out of the bag here, guys. He's in it for like 5 fucking minutes. Yeah. I mean, he clearly doesn't want to be there either. Like this is contractually obligated. This is like, okay, well, I guess
for those minutes he's in a plane cockpit. So I mean, he's just not.
Yeah, he was probably on set for 2 days. Like really, that was probably about it.
Yeah, this is. And another thing that really pisses me off about it is that it wastes Tony Jaa and Iko Uwais.
I'm glad
to the greatest screen combatants of all time. It totally wastes him. Tony Jaa has a little bit more to do. Like at least he gets like a series of pretty decent fights, but Eco, man, as the villain of the piece. I mean,
Kind
you
of. I
know,
mean, Eco, at least in the fight scene with Statham, he lands a couple of blows, which is unusual for Statham because usually Statham is like Seagal, where he's just demolishing guys, which I hate. It's something I've always hated about him. And that's like the influence from Stallone, like where you got to take a couple fucking hits, dude. And
yeah.
he does land some hits because it's
It would
disrespectful
have
to
been
your
unbelievable. Yeah, it would have been unbelievable and disrespectful for him to fight Iko Uwe and to not at least make it look good. But even
yeah.
so, it was a pretty one-sided affair. And I was just like, dude.
Though that's the problem with him as an action star is that he's too infallible. He should take more. I mean, that's why I like Stallone, because Stallone is willing to take his licks, and all the good stars. But I mean, I can understand why Snipes didn't come back. I feel like Banderas must have been in it until the last minute, and they just decided to make that character
Made
his
that
son.
kid his son, who is
Yeah,
annoying, by the way. Jacob Scipio plays the son of Antonio Banderas's character, and from the previous movies,
like his
and
dad
he's like
did.
a sex obsessed dude. Sounds and looks a lot like Banderas, but I mean, but Jesus Christ, dude! I mean, it's like he was just overbearing, and I was just like, I can't stand this guy. It's a good thing he's not in the movie that much.
Also, because I like the idea that these mercenaries have like girlfriends and stuff, and that they'd be hooking up, of course, because they live similar lives. And I mean, the thing is,
I guess Jason Statham's, I guess Lee Christmas's wife is out of the picture now.
yeah, well, now she's the new chick. But I mean, I would imagine, the thing about Megan Fox is that if you've watched her DTV stuff over the years, she has become a better actress than she used to be and done a lot of action stuff. So she actually is pretty good in the action scenes. Like she's doing a lot of her own fighting, right?
Right.
And she looks good and she does and she handles the fight scenes well. She fits into that world. It's
She
just
actually
too
really does. I agree with you. I think some of the stuff she's done action wise have been fairly impressive in bad movies.
Oh yeah.
But she's actually she works in this, and she would actually be, if they wanted to just spin off Statham and her into like a duo movie, I would actually be down for that.
I think that'd be much better. And I think that it would be, you could do more with it. I think it was actually a good idea setting it about on board the cargo ship. Probably the whole movie should have been that rather than, all the other stuff that they waste their time with. And there's big special effects scenes that they didn't need that are done so horribly anyway.
Oh yeah.
And then the whole thing about him being
Oh,
thrown and he becomes a body. It's all this bullshit stuff that we don't need.
the whole misdirect with Barney was just like, come on, dude.
Oh, that is terrible. And also, like, if you don't, they
Oh,
keep mystery villain. If you
it got
can't,
gasps. It got gasps at in the theater I was in. I was just sitting there. I was the only one in there because it wasn't a big crowd of people for a free screening of the Expendables 4. I was just in there like I was the only one like laughing out loud like during that sequence.
I was when I was in the theater because it was a press screening, and I guess some of the snooty critics, well, I think one or two showed up besides me, but
Well,
but
they
it
only
was
did it here if you asked. Like if you
uh,
come, you had to like ask about it, and
I
then
think
otherwise they didn't promote it at all.
I think I just got in because I interviewed the director, but it was like there was I mean, the mystery of the villain that they keep teeing up. If you can't figure it out, you haven't seen many action movies. There was one line that made me laugh though, where Andy Garcia is executing this guy named Bye, and he goes,
Really
"Bye,
bad,
bye."
by the way.
What?
He's really bad in this, by the way.
He's having a good time, but I like his line, "Bye, bye, bye." That was the only part.
Your sound keeps going in and out, by the way. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Can you hear
Yeah,
me? Yeah, I couldn't. Did you hear what I said?
yeah.
Your sound keeps going in and out.
Andy Garcia was bad.
No, your sound keeps going out because Garcia was bad.
Yeah, yeah. I thought Andy Garcia was having a good time. Was chewing some scenery.
Right. All right. Well, hopefully your mic starts working soon. I don't know what's going on with it.
You can't hear me. I can hear you. Okay.
No, I hear you, but you keep going in and out. Like you like the first few words of every sentence are nothing, and then you come in.
That's weird.
It is weird, but you're okay. You're okay. Yeah, Garcia's terrible in this, which is funny because I just finished watching him in something where I was like, man, I used to really like Andy Garcia. I don't even remember what that movie was. So, oh, it was Ocean's 11. I went to see Ocean's 11 with some friends over the weekend, at Alamo, and I was like, I really liked Andy Garcia back then. He's a pretty good asshole character when he wants to be, and
I
then
like
he's kind of an
in
asshole character in this too. But I was like, God, he's just way over the top.
I like in 8 Million Ways to Die. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah,
At the end of the film, they have the big confrontation scene, and just that he just keeps saying the F word over and over and over again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of just want, after this movie makes $5 million this weekend, I hope that's the end. I just kind
Oh,
of
it's
hope that's the end.
not. There'll be an Expendables TV show. There'll be some DTV movies. It's not over.
Did they ever make that Expendables movie?
No.
Back
And
when
that's
somebody thought the Expendables franchise was strong enough to support a spinoff.
I feel like we're gonna get an Expendables 5, but it's just gonna be like Lundgren and Couture and maybe Fox, and that'll be it.
If that's the case, don't bring them back at all. In
Yeah.
fact, their characters are perfectly set up to not ever return in this movie. Like both of them. Lundgren's character Gunner, he's old and can't shoot. And in a Toll Road, Couture's character, all he does is talk about his cauliflower ears the entire movie. Like that's all he does, and then he's practically saved by the young folks, which is like, okay, you're the old man. It's time for you to shuffle off. Like that's basically what the movie is telling us about him. Don't
50
bring
Cent
him back.
next one. It'll just be 50 Cent.
Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be. I think if they did do another one, which I can't imagine they would do another one, but if it would probably be Fitty, Megan Fox, and probably the Jacob Scipio character, and maybe the Asian chick. I think her character's name is Lash or something. Maybe they'd bring her back too, but I don't even think they'd bring her back. So
The Expendables go somewhere cheap.
I mean, they haven't done Vegas yet, right? I mean, isn't that what every sequel at some point needs to have like a Vegas movie? Like there has to be one somewhere. If it's a comedy, every sequel is in Vegas. These things are due for like a Vegas movie. The Expendables do Vegas or something. Expendables Las Vegas. Yeah, something dumb.
One scene is doing an Elvis impersonation.
What happens is they take on a bunch of gun-toting Elvises.
Or maybe they won't be able to afford Stallone, so they get Frank to play.
Can we just write up the Expendables in Vegas? Can we just write that movie? Like I would write that movie.
His brother, played by Frank Stallone.
Frank Stallone.
He was at TIFF. I saw him at a conversation. I almost got a photo with him.
What was it?
Well, he was there with his documentary. Sly was there with his documentary, and Frank was there in the front row.
Very cool. Oh, that's right. That's right. Sly was there with his doc. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Did. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's very, kind of reverent, and it's not very deep probing, but I enjoyed it. And I was at a conversation with Stallone as well. I took a bunch of video and posted it on Joe Blow. It was cool.
Yeah, hopefully they'll bring him to Middleburg or something. Then that'd be great.
I pitched Sly his script though, and it was really awkward.
Who
always,
did?
Yeah.
Who did?
Oh, just some jerk in the audience was like trying to pitch a script and ruined it for everybody.
I was about to say it wasn't you, was it?
No.
I was like, please don't try to pitch Stallone a script.
Oh, and it was so embarrassing. It was just you wanted to crawl into a hole and die.
Oh God! Did Stallone please blow him off gently?
Yeah, very. Oh, he didn't want to blow the guy off because he didn't want to hurt his feelings, but then they rushed him out because he was signing autographs for people and he was down with it. But then like his handlers, I guess they got a sense this wasn't going to end well. The guy was just going to keep pestering him because he kept doing it and people were like booing the guy. And then they eventually had to rush Sly out.
I'd boo the shit out of that guy too. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy. All right, so the
Expendables merch stuff, and like I would have gotten an autograph from him for sure.
He's still one of the guys I've never talked to. I'd love to, but anyway.
I've interviewed him a bunch of times, and he's great. He's super nice. So
All right. Well, maybe for the Expendables 5. All right. So let's move on and let's talk about something completely different, and that is Dumb Money. This is directed by Craig Gillespie, who did I, Tonya and Cruella. And it's about the GameStop stock scandal or craze from around 2021, like right in the heart of the pandemic. And what do you remember about this period? Because I don't know how this was reported in Canada, where you're from. Like, what do you remember about the GameStop situation?
it was pretty big. We didn't have the Robinhood app, but we have similar apps, and I knew people that put some money into GameStop that were part of that movement. I was following it, and I watched the documentary that came out about it, Eat the Rich, on Netflix, which was really good. So I did have some knowledge of it going in. But I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I thought they did a good job explaining, the logic behind it, and illustrating it. I think the documentary was more even-handed.
Yeah.
Because these hedge funds collapse, but where's all of our pensions, right? In hedge funds, unfortunately, and they kind of acknowledge that in the documentary more than they do. The movie's more simplistic than the actual case was. But the strange things that happen in the movie happen in real life. So it's like the Sebastian Stan character who was so cartoonish in the movie. That's exactly what he was like in real life.
Yeah. No, I agree. I actually like this quite a lot. And I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it going in because I know a lot of people love The Big Short. I don't love The Big Short. Like, I watch it and I liked it the first time. And every time I tried to watch it since, I've been like, you know? And I was worried that this was going to be kind of the same way. But I like this one because of how simplistic it is. Because I think it does a really good job of establishing what its perspective is going to be, which is like, these guys suck. And these are the people fighting to, fighting to stop the wealthy and the powerful. And they made it really simple, a really simple us versus them dynamic. And I think that was a smart way to go rather than to try and be even-handed. And that would have made a much worse movie. This made a much more enjoyable, entertaining movie with people we could root for, like the America Ferrera character and the two college girls. These people who don't have anything taking on these wealthy assholes played by Seth Rogen and Vincent D'Onofrio and Nick Offerman, who's like Darth Vader in this, stuff like that. And I thought that was a really smart way to present what could be complicated because I don't understand stocks for shit. Like, I don't understand any of that stuff. And I felt like I could explain what was happening while watching this movie.
Yeah, they did a good job setting it up. And I think that, they did the impossible. They made Paul Dano likable. They
All you gotta do is put him in a kitty cat t-shirt, man, and he's good.
I thought he was great in it as kind of the everyman, and Rogan was a complete asshole. And I did enjoy the movie quite a bit. I interviewed Gillespie actually not long afterwards at TIFF, and I like his stuff. I think he does good, fast-paced kind of docudramas. And
was it all Lars and the real girls conversation? Like, that's what the interview was about. It wasn't about anything else. Just
Fright Night.
It's about Fright. I love that Fright Night, by the way.
Too, and he was surprised. He was like, "Oh, I thought everybody hated it," and I was like, "No, man,
no. I actually like that one better than the original, and I like the original.
Me too.
I like the remake. I think Gillespie's remake is better.
Me too.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, this movie's fun, and Paul Dano's really nice in this. I even like Pete Davidson in this. I love almost anything. I
like.
He's annoying. He does a really good job of being annoying because he's annoyed
with him is because he sleeps with all of the hottest women in the world
inexplicably. The guy looks like a golem, and I don't understand how. He must be super funny. It's like the same thing I used to say about Ben Stiller and Christine Taylor. He must wake up every day and tell her the funniest joke ever that would get her through the day.
No, I think with him, it's like Seinfeld. Remember when Kramer had the Kavoka?
Yeah.
Inexplicable.
Man.
Don't hate them.
Okay, look, he's going through his Wilmer Valderrama stretch. He's going through that phase where women are just flocking to him, and you're just kind of like, I don't get it, but it's just happening. and then eventually that will level off. Eventually, it will level off. Pete Davidson will
Great.
get older, and he'll look even more like a troll. And then
Hey, he's got stories though. I mean, if it's
he'll
20
have
years, he could say, "Hey, did I tell you about the time I had sex with Kate Beckinsale?"
he'll have plenty in the spank bank for the next 70 years of his life. Would you say that again? You're out.
If he was to say, "Hey, I mean, I used to have sex with Kate Beckinsale," that's a pretty good story.
The list he'll have, man, and
Imagine
it's
him
not
watching
it's not over.
future kids. I slept with her. I slept with her. I slept with her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He'll have stories forever. Lucky guy. Oh man, but yeah, this is a pretty good movie, and I'm curious to see what it'll do on an expanded platform coming up. So I was gonna go see it again last week, but it wasn't at the Alamo yet, and I think it expands either this week or next week. So yeah, but yeah, Dumb Money I think is pretty good. I like it better than The Big Short for now. We'll see how I feel about it when I see it again. But I think your average person can go and see this and understand what the hell's going on and understand the dynamic, and I think that's a really smart way of doing things. So I think it's a pretty good movie. Anything else that you want to talk about that came out? Did you see Cassandra?
I did. We saw it together.
We saw it together in Sundance. That's
Yeah.
right.
I saw a lot at TIFF, including a movie called Pool Man, which is probably one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Okay, yeah, this thing about Pool Man, which is Chris Pine's directorial debut, getting a lot of chatter about how awful it is. There are articles being written about how awful it is. Uh, just tell me, how awful is it?
Hard to explain. It's one of those movies where like 2 minutes in, you're like, oh God, is this going to be the whole movie? Like it's just shtick. And it's so hard to take. There were so many walkouts apparently at the premiere, which never happens at TIFF. And I mean, at the press screening, people were openly heckling it.
What is Chris Pine doing through all this? Was he there?
No, he didn't show up. He was
Okay.
because he's in it because he acts in it too. And thank God, because it would have been a heartbreaking trip for him.
Did somebody pick it up yet?
No, I don't know he's gonna buy it. The thing is,
Somebody will
apparently
buy
somebody will, but it'll for like a song. Somebody apparently though it was shot on 35 millimeter and it was shipped in a 35 millimeter print to TIFF, and the prints, the projectors didn't work.
it.
Just called it a day and canceled the screening. I saw that and Aggro Drift back to back, and it almost killed me.
Wow, that sounds like a really rough day. For those who don't know, Aggro Drift is the latest film from Harmony Korine. It looked like trash when they put the trailer out like the day before the premiere, and I was like, "This looks awful." I don't understand what's happening in it, and I was like, "I know that's probably what he wants, but I don't
There's
care.
this
It looks like some shit I would hate."
there's a scene in Aggro Drift. It's all infrared, of course, and where
Right,
it's
it's
just
shot in infrared like he's the fucking predator.
a guy dancing around with a luchador mask, holding two swords, with girls in bikinis dancing around next to him as he goes, "Dance, bitch, dance, dance, bitch, dance," for about 10 minutes.
Oof.
That's the movie.
Is that better or worse than the 10-minute cake eating scene from A Ghost Story?
No, I like that scene.
This fucking scene's terrible too. All right, fine.
No, it's
I
crazy
hated
though.
that movie too.
I preferred Aggro Drift to Pool Man. Yeah. That's how bad Pool Man is.
I feel, oh man, I feel bad for Chris Pine. I can't wait until somebody picks it up for like $1 million, and then and that shit comes out, because it will come out. So it
Oh,
was,
and
get it.
Danny, oh, and Annette Bening, their characters' names are Jack and Diane. That's how clever the movie is. Like, oh, isn't that funny? And it's like, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, yeah. Like the song, we get
What
it.
is the
Okay.
tone of the movie? Like, what is it trying to be?
It's trying to be funny, but also a noir. And like it's basically trying to be Big
Like
Lebowski.
Cohen's? Oh, like Lebowski.
It's trying hard. It's like he saw Big Lebowski and and it's like he figured nobody'd ever seen that movie before. That's like the ego. where it's like, yeah, I saw this movie, Big Lebowski. I'm gonna make my own version of it. Nobody's seen this movie. It's so obscure. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Ugh.
Awful. It's awful.
Yeah, God, I can't wait to see it. I actually,
It's just really stupid.
I actually want to see Pool Man, and I know it's bad more than I want to see. Like, I probably won't see Aggro Drift. Like, I don't. Harmony Korine, I have no like for Harmony Korine for the most part, other than Spring Breakers. I really don't care about his movies all that much. I think most of them are garbage. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
Spring Breakers is the only one I like. So I know I have no interest in this movie.
Cool Man is just one of those movies where you're like, how did this get made? It's a tribute to how a star really can sometimes get anything they want made, because a lot of people along the line should have told him that this is garbage and it's not working.
Yeah. Hey, maybe they'll take it back and they'll re-edit it and it'll be amazing.
Well, I mean, it'd be amazing if he cuts it down to like 15 minutes. Then maybe it'll be amazing.
But so like I said, somebody will get it because most people will only see the people in the cast, and they'll see Chris Pine's name and they'll rent it, and who knows, and it might be
they get shots of DeWanda Wise looking hot. That'll be it.
Yeah, DeWanda Wise is definitely hot.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right, this has been way too much fun.
No, okay.
What'd you say?
Pete Davidson's gonna give her a call. On the list.
Oh man, I think she's out of his league.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Has he dated a black woman yet? And this impressive roll call of women he's been with, like, has he dated a black one yet? Maybe. I don't know.
I would imagine.
I'm sure there's probably been one.
Statistically, I would imagine he must have.
Statistically, yeah. Oh man, I'll just talk about Pete Davidson. All right, that is more than enough. All right, man. This has been a lot of fun. I know you got to run soon. So yeah, the Expendables is trash, but I mean, would you say it's the worst of the four? I think so.
Is it worse than 3?
3's awful. Which one is
3?
One with Snipes is the second one, right?
Sorry?
One with Snipes in them is the second one, right?
Oh, that was the third one.
There's the third one?
The third one did have one great line, though. When the big action scene happens at the beginning, they break Snipes out and they go, "Hey, what were you in jail for?" And he goes, "Taxes."
What was that was a great line. What was the one that Patrick Hughes directed? Was that 3?
3.
I like that one.
They were all decent in some ways, I guess. Like, I don't know. This is
this is going to be one of the driving forces of my review later when I start writing it. I think the Expendables is the most disappointing franchise in terms of potential.
Yeah.
My lifetime. Like I can't believe how these things never lived up to what they should have been. Like none of them. Like not even the first one. None of them have. It's incredible.
That got the closest.
Yeah. I would agree. None of them have ever measured up. Like to the excitement that I had before that first movie was through the goddamn roof. And I know you and I know knowing you, it was for you too. But it's just like none of them ever lived up to it. And now it's like fuck.
When I saw the first one, like I liked it, but it was like a B movie, and it wasn't like I was expecting like a masterpiece, like a real action, like fucking ass movie.
Yeah,
it was.
Me too.
Wasn't.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's going to be the bulk of my review, more so than talking about the movie itself, because there really isn't that much to talk about with the movie. So anyway, so Expendables that comes out this weekend. Dumb Money is in some theaters now. It'll be expanding soon. I think next week it'll be going into more theaters. Check them both out if you want to, but for very different reasons, I think. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in to Cinema Royale. I'm Travis Hobson, Punch Drunk Critics. That is Chris Bumbray at JoeBlow.com. Go and check out all his coverage of TIFF there and everything that they got going on at Joe Blow, including my 2 write-ups for the Netflix series Wrestlers.
Very good.
Which I've heard are doing phenomenally well. or not. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know stats. But anyway, thanks again to Chris. Thanks again to all of you for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.